Hello, loves. Welcome to Inner Love Messages. I'm Sarah, and if you're new here, I'm so glad to have you on the channel. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Sure, here's a natural, human-friendly rephrasing of your entire script, preserving the meaning and emotional tone while flowing like a heartfelt reading. Alright, let's dive into today's reading. I'll be using this deck to tap into your person's current energy, what they're thinking, how they're feeling emotionally, and the deepest truths they want to express straight from their heart. The first message that comes through is, "We met for a reason," and this one feels powerful, like it's carrying a lot of weight. What I'm sensing right away is that your person, especially the one holding the masculine energy, has recently gone through some sort of shift. It feels like they've pulled back, maybe after trying to reach out or showing some interest. And this withdrawal doesn't feel random. It actually seems like a conscious decision. If they were being fully honest with you, they'd probably admit that this connection has been incredibly confusing for them. It's the kind of confusion that throws them off because they like things to be logical, to make sense. And right now, none of this does. Their energy feels serious and focused, almost like they've hit pause on everything else because something inside them is demanding answers. And strangely enough, what's stirring all of this up seems to be you, your energy, your presence, the depth of this connection. They're wrestling with questions about you that they can't shake, and even though it might not seem like it on the surface, this questioning is activating something deep and powerful between you two. If the bond between you is strong energetically, you might already be feeling it. Maybe you've noticed strange synchronicities, waves of emotion that seem to come out of nowhere, or even physical sensations that you can't quite explain. That could be you picking up on their inner turmoil. They're not just thinking about you, they're feeling you, and it's all hitting them hard. What's becoming clearer to them is that this connection runs way deeper than anything they've experienced before. Something recently triggered this soul-searching process, and one of the ways they're trying to make sense of it all is by comparing what they feel for you with their past relationships. And honestly, there's no comparison. Nothing they've experienced before has touched them like this. The emotions, the intensity, the way you make them feel, it's all so different. They've probably felt this for a while, but now there's a growing urgency to understand it. They're looking at everything from a wider, more spiritual lens, trying to figure out why they feel so drawn to you. And that magnetic pull they feel? It's unlike anything they've known. You, as the divine feminine, are standing fully in your energy. You radiate in a way that pulls things to you naturally, and they can feel that so strongly. It's impossible for them to ignore. There's something about you that drives them absolutely wild, and it's the same thing that pulled them towards you in the first place. It's your essence, your mystery, the parts of you they just can't quite grasp. That's what leaves them feeling so unsettled. It's not just your outer beauty or the surface level things, it's something much deeper. They're being pushed to see you from a higher place, to truly understand you, and yet they can't quite get there. That confusion, the emotional push and pull, the moments when they're all in and then suddenly distant, it's all a reflection of how overwhelmed they are. This connection doesn't fit into any box they've known before, and it's got them questioning everything. They're in disbelief at how powerful this bond feels, and while most things about it are still a mystery to them, the one thing they do know for sure is that your meeting wasn't random. That part, they're completely certain about. So if you've been sensing distance or if they've gone quiet, just know that it wasn't by accident. They've chosen to step back so they can figure things out. This connection matters to them more than they're probably letting on, and right now they're deep in thought, trying to sort through it all. They're not ready to make any big moves just yet. They're holding still, reflecting, searching for clarity. This masculine energy is someone who tends to be grounded and logical. They place more trust in facts than in feelings. They're not someone who gives their heart away easily, and when it comes to love, they tread carefully. But you've shifted something in them. Your energy caught them off guard. They may have fallen for you quicker than they expected, and now they're trying to regain control, to understand what just happened to them emotionally. What they do know, deep in their heart, is that you are their one true love. If you've been wondering how they truly feel, this is your confirmation. They are absolutely in love with you. They've been comparing what they have with you to every other connection they've known, and nothing else comes close. It might feel surreal or even strange to them, but this is unlike anything they've experienced before. The emotions you stir in them are making them rethink everything they thought they understood about love, and because of that, they're starting to behave differently. They're overanalyzing things, second-guessing their moves, and this isn't typical behavior for them. Your presence has taken them out of their usual element. This is someone who usually presents as very composed, very in control, especially when it comes to business or life decisions. They're precise, clear-headed, steady. But when it comes to you and your divine feminine energy, all that control starts to unravel just a little. They may hold back in how they act or what they say, not because they don't feel anything, but because your energy has such a strong effect on them. It makes them feel things they don't fully understand yet. And while you may have an idea of how they feel, you probably don't realize just how deep those emotions really go. There's so much more happening beneath the surface than you know. What really stands out in this whole story is that this masculine recognized you long before you realized who they were, and it wasn't about appearances or words. It was the energy you carried. Something about your presence just lit something up in them, and that initial spark never faded. If you've been waiting for some sort of confirmation about what they felt or feel for you, let this be it. I keep hearing the word confirmation for a reason. There's a deep emotional current running through this message. It feels like this masculine has been keeping a lot bottled up. Either they've been hiding their true feelings, or they've been trying really hard to stay composed when it comes to you. The attraction they felt was intense, so strong that they started wondering if it was love or just a powerful physical pull. But your energy is captivating in a way that doesn't require effort. You're not trying to be seductive or magnetic, it just naturally flows from you. And they saw that. They felt it. It may have even made them a little wary at first, unsure of how to handle someone like you. Maybe they even told themselves they wouldn't let things get too deep. But here they are, in love, and more confused than ever about how they got here. There's something about you that feels both mysterious and incredibly pure, and that mix draws them in even more. They can't stop wanting to understand you better, to get closer. You might be wondering if they genuinely feel all this, if they truly love you. And what's interesting is that often it's the masculine who first recognizes the divine feminine, because her energy speaks directly to his soul. It's like being in a room with someone who was made just for them. Even if they don't have the words to explain it, they feel it, without question. This masculine is truly in love with you. As strange as it may seem, they've been comparing this connection to every relationship they've had before. The passion, the chemistry, the way you connect, it's unlike anything they've ever experienced. It's been overwhelming, and it feels like they're just now beginning to realize the depth of it all. You may not have shared much about your past or the lessons life has taught you, but still, there's this powerful resonance between the two of you. In many ways, what you have now is the exact opposite of what either of you has experienced before, and for some reason, all of that is rising to the surface right now. Lately, this person seems to be really reflecting on their past relationships. It's like they're trying to make sense of what's brought them here, and they want to share that process with you. They've had their fair share of difficult relationships, some low vibrational, and others that helped them grow, but there was always a sense of emptiness in them, something that just didn't feel right. They're becoming more aware of the imbalance they've felt in those dynamics, especially between masculine and feminine energy. Now, with you, they're seeing how different things can be. You bring out such a powerful feminine energy that it naturally invites them to rise into their full masculine expression, and that feels good to them. It feels balanced, aligned, and even healing. It's like they can finally be themselves in a way that feels safe and right. You feel like they're a perfect match, not just emotionally, but mentally, physically, spiritually. There's this deep knowing they have that what they feel with you is what real love looks like. They've started to see their past not as something to regret, but as necessary steps that brought them to you. You've become the person they can see themselves growing old with. But more than the future, it's the way you make them feel right now that matters most. You bring something out in them that was always missing before. And honestly, it feels so natural and easy that they sometimes wonder if this is too good to be true, something you might feel from time to time as well. There's a strong emotional bond forming here, and it's like they're slowly opening their heart and showing you the journey they've been on. What they love most about you is your empathy. That intuitive understanding you have, it's like you know what they need without them having to say a word. That kind of connection is rare and precious. Before you dive into the rest of this message or video, I just want to say, if this reading resonates with you and you appreciate the energy and heart I put into it, consider showing a little love with a super thanks in your name. It means the world. Now, something powerful happened during your time apart. That space gave them clarity. In that distance, They realized something they hadn't seen before, that you're a blessing in disguise. It wasn't obvious to them at first. It was something hidden, something that had to be revealed at just the right time. If they had realized it too soon, they might not have been ready. Maybe it would have overwhelmed them or made them run, but the timing was divine. Slowly, piece by piece, they started to understand who you truly are, and the person they were when you first crossed paths is so different from who they are now. That connection helped them grow. When they first met you, they didn't quite know what to make of you. You were something new, unfamiliar, someone they couldn't quite place or define. It's like they didn't have any real expectations because there wasn't yet a frame of reference for what you meant in their life. The energy between you was undefined, a little mysterious, maybe even confusing, but something about it stuck with them. And now, after all this time, it feels like everything has finally clicked. The confusion has given way to clarity. It's like all the puzzle pieces finally came together. What once felt uncertain now feels like a clear truth. They've come to see you in a way they never expected. The way you move through life, the way you show up for others, the way you interact with them, it's all spoken volumes. It wasn't a single moment that changed things for them. It was a slow, steady unfolding. And then, all at once, it hit them. They get it now. They see you for who you truly are. And in some ways, they feel like they understand you better than they ever thought possible. What truly stands out in this connection is the way you interact with their masculine energy. It's something that naturally challenges them and pushes them to reflect on who they are. You have this rare ability to mirror things back to them in such a way that they can't ignore what's going on within themselves. Instead of absorbing or allowing them to project their unresolved emotions or insecurities onto you, you quietly return the energy to them, making them take responsibility for their own internal world. This dynamic you bring into the relationship is both profound and powerful. There's a strong sense that something recently happened between the two of you, something that stirred a deep realization in them. It might not have been a dramatic moment, but it was enough to cause a shift. Whatever it was, it pushed them to seriously examine their own actions and motivations, to dig into the reasons behind their behaviors and patterns. That kind of self-reflection isn't always easy, and it likely stirred some discomfort or resistance at first. But over time, it seems to have become clear to them that this moment, however uncomfortable, was a necessary wake-up call. It gave them a chance to confront things they may have been avoiding for a long time. You come across as someone who is deeply expressive, not just in your words, but in how you live, how you show up in relationships, and how you move through life. Your emotional presence is undeniable, and it creates a space where people can't help but reflect on themselves. You don't back down from truth or from difficult conversations. Instead, you bring them to the surface with a kind of boldness that's both rare and refreshing. That kind of honesty, especially when it comes from a place of self-awareness and self-respect, leaves an impression. They notice it. They respect it. They may not always say it out loud, but your willingness to speak your truth and uphold your boundaries is something that stands out to them. During moments of tension, you don't avoid conflict. You face it head-on, and when you do, it forces them to look inward as well. You aren't someone who lets things slide for the sake of keeping the peace, especially if that means compromising your own sense of well-being. This unwillingness to tolerate anything that disrupts your inner peace shows just how strong and self-aware you are. Whether they've told you or not, they feel the weight of that strength. They might even admire it more than they know how to express. One of the most striking parts of your connection with them is the way you hold your ground. No matter how intense their energy becomes, you never shrink or retreat. You don't let their presence overpower you, and you don't fall into silence or submission. Instead, you match the moment with clarity and conviction. Even if your own energy is softer or more subtle, you remain grounded in who you are. That unshakable core is something they not only notice but deeply respect. There's an unspoken recognition on their part. They see how you hold your truth, and in doing so, you challenge them to hold theirs. It's possible that something you said recently had a deeper effect on them than you realize. Maybe it didn't seem like a big deal at the time, but it triggered something significant inside of them. If they've become distant or needed space lately, it's not because they're walking away, it's because they're stepping back to process everything. This time away is about them giving themselves the chance to truly understand what's been brought to light. Your words might have helped them uncover patterns or emotional baggage they hadn't fully recognized before. They could be facing parts of themselves that were buried under years of avoidance, old relationship wounds, or outdated beliefs about love and connection, and had you not been as open, honest, and authentic as you were, they might have never reached this point of realization. Now, with this awareness, something inside of them is beginning to shift. They're seeing themselves more clearly. They're also beginning to see you and the connection you share in a new light. That clarity, even if it's arrived through discomfort, is helping them grow. It's giving them the tools to become more grounded, more present, and more aware of how they want to show up moving forward. While it may feel like a pause or a slowdown between you two, it's actually a recalibration. It's the space they need to evolve into someone who can meet you on the level you're already operating from. Even if they haven't told you directly, it's likely they're deeply grateful for your honesty. The way you speak, the clarity with which you express yourself, it reaches them in ways they didn't expect. It's not just the words themselves, but the energy behind them. You make them think. You make them feel. You encourage them to stretch beyond their limitations and consider things they may have avoided in the past. And while that kind of growth can be challenging, it's also exactly what they needed. You've had a powerful impact on their life, whether they've said it or not. Your presence is like a mirror that helps them see themselves more clearly. And your willingness to be real, to stay true to yourself, and to speak from the heart is what makes that impact so lasting. You're helping them strip away the layers of who they thought they needed to be, so they can step into a more authentic version of themselves. And in doing so, you're not just changing the relationship, you're helping shape who they are becoming. What truly stands out to them is how gracefully you embody both your masculine and feminine energies. There's something in your presence, something quiet yet incredibly powerful that resonates with them on a deep, almost unexplainable level. It's not something loud or overly assertive. Instead, it's the way you express yourself that captivates them. You speak and move with a subtle confidence that pulls them in, makes them think, and challenges their perspectives in just the right way. It's clear they hold a deep respect for your thoughts and the emotional depth you bring into every interaction. In their eyes, you're someone they could genuinely build something real with. Something lasting and meaningful. You feel like someone they could envision in their future, not just temporarily, but in a way that truly matters. Sometimes, they might throw little tests your way, intentionally or not. It could be something they say or a situation they present, just to see how you respond. And time after time, you surprise them. The way you handle emotions, even the tricky and tangled ones, leaves them quietly in awe. You don't just react, you respond with awareness, grace, and insight. That's something they're not used to, and it keeps them intrigued. There's a quiet fascination growing within them as they watch how you navigate the world with such a grounded, intuitive energy. You've become this constant presence they can't quite stop thinking about, someone who has stirred something in them that feels bigger than they expected. So if you've been wondering how they see you right now, know this: it goes way beyond simple admiration. What they feel is a deep sense of gratitude and wonder. To them, you're a rare and unexpected gift, someone who's brought so much more to their life than they could have imagined. Maybe they had certain assumptions about you at first. Maybe they judged you based on what they thought they saw on the surface. But now, as time has unfolded and layers have been revealed, they're realizing there's so much more to you. What they once thought they understood about you was only scratching the surface of something far more profound. The more they get to know you, the more their entire perception of you shifts. At first, it might have been your appearance or a few things you said that caught their attention, but now, it's the subtleties, the way you notice things no one else does, the way you tune into what's not being said, and how you show up with a depth that makes people feel genuinely seen. They're drawn to the way you carry yourself, your calm strength, the energy that surrounds you. It's in your words, yes, but also in your silences, your gestures, your presence. You make people feel at home, like they've known you forever, even if they've just met you. And before we continue, just a little reminder: if you want to be part of this beautiful little family we've built here, don't forget to hit that join button and subscribe. We'd love to have you with us. Now, coming back to them, they're beginning to realize something even deeper about you. You have this rare ability to connect with them in a way no one else has. It's like you found a way to unlock parts of them they didn't even know existed. The questions you ask, the conversations you spark, the way you truly listen and respond, it blows them away. Every interaction with you opens new doors in their mind and heart. You awaken feelings and thoughts that catch them off guard in the best way. It's not just charm or chemistry, It's something wise, soulful, and almost ancient. You just get them, even when they don't fully get themselves. As the connection deepens, they're uncovering truths about both you and themselves that they didn't see before. What once felt mysterious or confusing is now starting to make sense. They're seeing more clearly now, seeing you as someone who was meant to come into their life. This bond feels like something sacred, something they didn't understand at first, but now realize is one of the most meaningful connections they've ever experienced. It's becoming obvious to them that you've always carried this quiet power and emotional depth. They just weren't ready to see it until now. Looking back, everything begins to click into place. You've always been part of their story. Even when they didn't recognize it, you were there like a hidden treasure waiting to be found. Now that they've found you, they feel this overwhelming sense of luck, as though the universe conspired to bring you into their life at the exact moment they needed you most. Right now, it's like they're standing still, almost in disbelief, as the reality of it all sinks in. They're truly beginning to understand that you're not just someone special, you're someone meant for them. There's a sense of destiny wrapped around this whole connection, and they feel it in their bones. This isn't just another fleeting emotion or passing crush. This feels deeper, more real, and incredibly important. One card even speaks the truth clearly. You're a part of my destiny. And for them, that statement holds serious weight. It's not something they take lightly, it's something that's shaking them to their core. They might be spending time alone these days, reflecting, trying to make sense of everything. Maybe they've turned to close friends for advice, searching for clarity. The intensity of what they're feeling has them asking big questions about the future, about what this connection truly means and where it's headed. But one thing is certain, they're not seeing this as random. This journey, this bond, feels like it was written in the stars. It feels like fate. In their mind, this has moved far beyond a casual connection. They're starting to understand that you've become a guiding presence in their life, someone whose impact is far greater than they could have imagined. And as this realization unfolds, so does their understanding of the spiritual nature of your bond. They may now be waking up to the idea that this is more than just love, it's something deeply spiritual. It could very well be that they're recognizing this as a twin flame connection. If you've ever wondered whether they feel that same deep pull, whether they see the sacred nature of what exists between you, the answer is yes. They feel it. They know it now. They see you as their divine counterpart, their mirror, their soul's other half. And even if you've had your moments of doubt along the way, rest assured, they are no longer questioning it. They understand that this bond is transformative, and they see clearly that you're both meant to walk this path together. Your presence in their life is not a coincidence. It's a part of a bigger journey, one that is full of growth, healing, love, and evolution for both of you. They're finally beginning to understand the profound depth of the connection you share, recognizing how it seems to move in cycles, weaving through time and space like something far beyond the ordinary. What once left them feeling confused or even overwhelmed is now becoming crystal clear. In the past, they may not have been ready to grasp the full weight of what this bond meant, but now, something has shifted. A wave of realization has washed over them, filling both their heart and mind with a truth they can no longer ignore. It's as if the veil has lifted, and they're finally seeing things for what they truly are. They want you to know that they are fully aware of this connection now. More than that, they want to make sure you understand that they see it, feel it, and honor it. However they might interpret or express it on the surface, the truth is that they can feel the immense force behind it, something far more powerful than either of you alone. This isn't a passing feeling or a fleeting attraction. It feels like something guided by a higher power, something meant to be. No matter how far apart you may be in the physical world, there's a force pulling you back to one another, time and time again. And now that they're seeing all of this clearly, it's breathing new life into the connection. It's like a renewal, a fresh sense of energy and meaning that's beginning to touch everything between you. Even if you're separated by distance or silence, this shift in their awareness is rippling through the bond, bringing in quiet but powerful change. Just the fact that they finally understand, that they now recognize the sacredness of what you share, brings a deep sense of peace. It's as though something heavy has been lifted. They no longer feel alone in trying to make sense of it all. What they once saw as something haunting or confusing, something they couldn't quite grasp, has now revealed itself as something purposeful, something profoundly important. They've come to see that this isn't just about desire or connection on a surface level. There's something deeper here, something that reaches into the core of who they are, something that's asking to be honored and embraced. For you, Divine Feminine, this is a deeply healing moment. You've carried the weight of this knowing for so long, wondering if they felt it too, if they understood the way you did. And now they do. There's a shared awareness that brings comfort, like a long-awaited exhale. The sacredness of this bond is no longer something only you see, it now lives in both of your hearts. That mutual recognition eases the tension, softens the fears, and replaces uncertainty with calm. You are no longer walking this path alone in your knowing. They've caught up to the truth, and that changes everything. This awakening they're going through is not small. It's transforming them on a soul-deep level. Even if they're still moving through their own emotions and realizations, one thing is clear. They know now that you are meant to be in their life. This isn't a passing thought, it's a deep inner certainty. Everything they've experienced seems to have led to this moment and to you. You've left an imprint on them that they can't forget. They think of you constantly, not out of habit, but because your presence has become a part of them. It's not just fascination, it's not just desire, it's something much more real, something their heart can't deny. Each new realization they're having only reinforces this knowing, and the feelings they have for you are stronger and more real than anything they've known before. Their heart has always known, but now their mind is fully catching up. They're ready to trust that knowing. The certainty they feel now is unshakable, and they're finally ready to move with it, not against it. They've been quietly preparing for this shift, even if they didn't realize it at the time. The pace might have surprised them, and the way it's unfolded may not have been what they expected. But looking back now, it all makes sense. You didn't come into their life by accident. Everything about your presence, your energy, your timing, the feelings you stir within them, it all fits into a bigger picture. They've been searching, questioning, trying to understand what it all means. There were moments when they pulled back, not out of disinterest, but because they needed space to reflect, to breathe, to look inward. And that time was deeply necessary. They've been revisiting their past, sifting through old patterns, learning who they've been and who they're becoming. This inner work hasn't been easy, but it's been real. They've been peeling back layers, facing their truth, and asking the hard questions so they could come back to this connection with clarity. This process has helped them recognize that what they're experiencing with you is unlike anything else. They see now that this isn't something they can just walk away from, not because they're trapped, but because they truly value it. They don't want to lose what you have. They want to move forward with you in a way that's grounded, intentional, and meaningful. They've kept their heart guarded for so long, afraid of getting hurt, unsure of how to open up fully. But your presence has done something profound. You've touched something deep within them. You've stirred emotions they didn't even know they were capable of feeling. And now they're realizing that the journey you've both been on has been leading them to this very clarity. They're not going through all of this for nothing. They know there's a reason, a greater purpose, and that purpose is unfolding now. You might even feel it too. That quiet sense of something coming, a shift building beneath the surface. There's momentum gathering and change is drawing near. What they're feeling now is a clarity unlike anything they've known before. This connection has lit up parts of them they didn't know were hidden. They finally feel like they can be themselves with you, without masks, without pretense. Around you, they don't have to protect themselves or hold back. There's a freedom in your presence that gives them space to breathe, to be real, to let down their walls. And that's a rare thing for them. It's no wonder they see you as a blessing, something divinely timed. You've come into their life at a moment when they needed it most, even if they couldn't see it at first. Now, everything seems to make sense. You feel like home. The way your energies dance together is so natural, so aligned. It's as if everything just clicks into place. You are not only the answer to their silent questions, you are the mirror, the catalyst, the light that's been guiding them home. There's something undeniable about the way your feminine energy has touched them. It's not just your presence, it's the depth, the quiet strength, the inner wisdom that radiates from you. You've sparked something deep within them that they can't turn away from. Your energy has awakened their protective side, urging them to rise into a version of themselves they've never fully embraced before. It's like a part of them that had been asleep is now stirring, and they can feel how powerful this connection truly is. Even if neither of you has said it out loud, the roles you each play seem to flow effortlessly, as if you've been dancing to the same rhythm all along. This bond isn't just meaningful, it's transformative. It's the kind of connection that doesn't come around often, and when it does, it has the power to open hearts, heal old wounds, and bring something incredibly beautiful to life. This is not a random meeting of two souls. What's happening between you has a deeper purpose. It's the start of something much bigger, something that's only just beginning to unfold. Over time, you'll see how it grows in clarity, in emotional depth, and in mutual commitment. Even if they haven't spoken these truths to you yet, you need to know, in their heart, you are their true love. Your souls are woven together by something far greater than coincidence. There's a sense that they're getting ready to tell you this, to let you in on what they've been feeling all along. Some of them may have taken a step back recently, and while that space might feel confusing, it isn't about them doubting the connection. It's about processing. They've needed time to sit with everything that's unfolding between you two. The intensity of it all, spiritually, emotionally, even energetically, has been immense. This pause has been their way of navigating their emotions carefully, not because they want to pull away, but because they want to be sure. They're waiting for a kind of inner clarity that goes beyond logic or the physical world. It's as if they're tuning into something higher, asking for guidance before they fully leap in. What's coming through strongly is that they're moving with great care now. Every step is intentional. They don't want to mess this up, and they know they've had a breakthrough, some realization that's changed everything. Because of that, they're making sure they move forward with grace and purpose. They're not rushing because they know what's at stake. Instead, they're aligning their choices with what feels right in their soul. It's almost like they've gone quiet in order to listen, to themselves, to spirit, to the signs leading them toward you. Their patience isn't hesitation, it's reverence. They want to honor you, and they want to honor what this connection really means. Behind the scenes, there's so much happening, especially energetically. There's a momentum building in the spiritual realm that's real and powerful. Every thought you have about this connection, every feeling, every intention you carry in your heart, it's all shaping the path ahead. Your energy is a driving force in this journey, even if you don't always realize it. When you're aligned with your true self and with the universe, there's a flow that begins to move things in your favor. Sometimes the results don't show up right away in the physical, but that doesn't mean they're not coming. The current is moving beneath the surface, and it's only a matter of time before it all rises into view. Right now, the masculine is seeing things clearly. Something inside them has shifted, like a fog lifting. They finally recognize you for who you truly are to them. This realization has brought about big changes in how they're moving through life. They're no longer approaching this like they have with others in the past. You've mirrored something back to them, something deep, maybe even uncomfortable at first, that's pushed them to do the inner work. You've inspired a level of self-reflection that's led them to ask serious questions about their life, their past, and the choices they've made. Through your presence, they've come to see themselves differently. You've helped them grow in ways they never expected. Simply by being who you are, they want to do this right. They're not looking for anything fleeting or surface level. They want something strong, something real, something built to last. And they know that's only possible with honesty, presence, and emotional maturity. This connection, this bond with you, is unlike anything they've known before. It caught them off guard in the beginning. They didn't know what to make of it. Was it just chemistry? Was it all in their head? But over time, they've come to understand that this is something much deeper. It's the kind of love that transforms you, that leaves you changed. Now they see it. They see you, and they see the possibility of a future that's rich with meaning, built on a foundation of truth and soul-deep connection. They're grateful for you, more than they may ever be able to say in words. You've brought light into their world in a way no one else has. You've shown them a love that goes beyond the surface, one that touches the very core of who they are. And even if they haven't yet said it out loud, they know in their heart, you're the one. You've stirred something within them they didn't even realize was missing. For the first time, someone has come into their life who truly challenges them, not to break them down, but to inspire growth, to encourage evolution, and to awaken the best version of themselves. They've grown accustomed to others simply accepting them as they are, never really asking for more. But with you, the dynamic is entirely different. You don't shrink in their presence. You don't get swept away by their energy. Instead, you stand firm in your own strength, grounded and unwavering, and that presence commands respect. They see something in you that feels incredibly rare, a powerful equilibrium between masculine and feminine energy coexisting in such harmony that it feels divinely orchestrated. It's not just a connection, it's an experience, a soul-deep recognition that goes beyond words. There's something about the way your energies intertwine that makes this bond feel unlike anything else they've known. It's intense, deep, and unmistakably unique. As this message comes to a close, it's important to remember that you're walking a path that is unfolding exactly as it should. Even when things feel uncertain or hidden in the physical world, trust that the energy between you is moving, shifting, and aligning in your favor. Keep staying true to yourself, hold on to your inner knowing, and continue tending to this connection with care. It's blossoming in its own time, and the progress is very real, even if it's not always immediately visible. If this message resonates with you and you're feeling supported by the content we share, offering a super thanks is a wonderful way to help us keep going. It truly makes a meaningful difference. And if you haven't yet, we'd love for you to subscribe for more soulful updates and empowering messages to uplift and encourage you. Your presence here means the world to us, and we're genuinely grateful for each and every one of you.